Hello, my name is Lindsay Howland and I'm the head teacher of Allens Primary School and acting head teacher of Baker Street Nursery. In 2017-18, we started to look at our curriculum national. We were very keen that we had an area of development for our children so that they would be equipped with skills for 21st century living. So we did a lot of consultation in 2017-18 with business partners, with our local high school. We looked at forerunners in Skills Development Scotland, Nesta, and what we came up with was a set of skills that we felt were manageable within school. So we came up with 5 important skills which we call the 5 C's, which are collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking and curiosity. Once we had established these 5 C's, we then thought, what kind of context and approach are we going to take to ensure that we embed those skills within our pedagogy at Allens and Baker Street Nursery? And we did a lot of research and came up with the Makerspace philosophy.
So why Makerspace for us? Well, Makerspace encourages a growth mindset. So working on Makerspace challenges, failure is welcome, failure is necessary on the road for children to achieve success and to improve upon what they've done. Makerspace challenges embrace the power of collaboration. So children work much better on Makerspace challenges when they are working in pairs, trios or groups of 4 to pool resources and skills rather than working on their own. It provides a sense of purpose, so it's real solutions to real problems that actually could impact positively on people's lives, whether it's their own or in the community or in the global context. But also the teacher doesn't have to be the expert in Makerspace projects. The teacher can have a go with the children and they can find solutions, discover solutions together, so it shifts that power balance within the classroom. It's a time for all children to be truly creative, and quite soon into our research into makerspaces, we decided that at Allens, a makerspace was going to be not particularly just a room, but it was going to be a philosophy and a mindset to solving problems and challenges. So when we're engaging with makerspace projects, we use a design thinking process, which is a step-by-step process which is used by real-world designers to solve problems. So we find the benefits of this is that it provides a framework for engaging with problem-solving tasks, and it provides a degree of structure to what would largely be an unstructured task, so that learners are focused on the purpose of what they're doing, and it gives us all a shared language so we can talk about, oh, this is the stage that we're at just now, what stage are you at, what do you need to do to move this along? So there are 7 stages to the design thinking process that we use. So the first one is the challenge, where the children are given and presented with a real life challenge which needs solving. And the first thing they have to do after that is to empathise. So they think about who will use their design. How do the people that are experiencing a problem currently feel? What do they need in order to solve the problem? How will it change their lives? Once they've done that, the children can then define the problem. So now we know exactly what the problem is. What is it that we're going to need to do? They move on to the ideating stage next, where they create ideas. So at this stage, no idea is too silly. It's just sticky notes. Everybody just kind of gets down any possible solution before coming together as a group and deciding on what it is that they're going to do. They can pull the best bits of all of them to make their prototype. They question each other on their designs and they share their designs with others, so they've got the best possible solution. Then they go and create it, so they work collaboratively, they build their model, or they make their plan, or they redesign the process, and then eventually they evaluate it within themselves and then with other groups, and they evaluate how the process has gone, how they've worked, and the product as well. So we have Makerspace weeks here at Allens. The first way that we did it was that every class was issued with a mystery box, and they weren't allowed to open that box until their given day. and within that was a design brief, and then each class had a different challenge related to a different global goal. One of them was cleaning up water to make it safe and hygienic to drink, and they worked through the design thinking toolkit to make an invention or a model that would then solve that particular global problem. Another way that we've done it is having a whole school makerspace week where every class is working on exactly the same challenge. So we've recently done this for all the children to design their ideal learning environment for learning in the 21st century, which is linking in with our current consultation process for our school building. And over the week they created models, they designed plans or drawings, and they were encouraged to be bold and think big, and then shared these ideas at assembly. And that worked well in order to see the progression from ideas from primary 1 right the way through to primary 7.
What do we like about Makerspace? Makerspace Week is a whole week away from the normal class timetable learning, which makes it exciting and different. We love having opportunities to develop a variety of skills in a more practical way. It's much more interesting to have different ways to solve a problem and show our ideas. We get to put a lot of input into what we do, instead of just normal class time learning. We get to choose the direction our learning goes in. It is a great chance and opportunity to show people that you can do things and show them that you have skills across different areas rather than just in maths or literacy. It helps to develop a positive mindset because you feel free to have a go and keep going until you feel comfortable and successful with what you have set out to achieve. Makerspace also gives us a chance to work with people we don't normally choose to work with, which also helps us to develop relationships. In our previous Makerspace challenge, we had the chance to think about real-world problems and think of ways to change these for the better.
How does Makerspace develop our creativity? During Makerspace Week, we get set a challenge, and there are no limits. There is nothing which puts a barrier on our designs or ideas. It gives us chances to be able to think creatively, and as long as it meets the design brief, anything is possible. It lets you try new creative ways of thinking in a way that suits you and the problem you are given. You can't just have to go with the flow during a Makerspace challenge. You can build on your ideas even if they don't go to plan, as every idea is a good idea, and that's what we like about the ideating stage. It makes you think about more than one way of solving a challenge. You're not always thinking about the easiest way of solving problems, but showing creativity to think outside the box and consider what could be possible. I guess it helps you to develop the core of your brain. Different neurons are getting stronger the more creative opportunities we have.
How does Makerspace develop our collaboration? Working on Makerspace challenges gives us the opportunities to work with people that maybe we haven't worked with before. It helps us to find out what their skills are and what their approaches to problem solving is. It helps us to be in situations with people that we haven't been in before. The key to being successful in Makerspace Week is to work together, work in a team, and listen to other people's ideas to get the job done in the given time. The fact that we have to do a project in a given time frame, you can't just work on your own, so you have to draw on the strengths of other people. If you don't collaborate, then you won't really know what ideas other people have. It's a week where you can't sit back and let other people do it. It feels good to contribute to the group and make things happen.
How does Makerspace develop our critical thinking? After the ideating stage, you have to think about what ideas are important and which will help solve the problem. We have to consider the time frame to think about what realistically we can do in order to solve the problem in the time we have. You don't have all the time in the world, so you have to think about what is possible, what resources we have, keeping the idea you have thought about in the ideating stage, but thinking critically about how you can build on these and making them even better. We have to make sure that what we are doing is completely necessary and meets the design brief.
How does Makerspace develop our communication skills? In Makerspace Week, you have to be able to speak to others clearly in order to share your ideas and make sure that you're not all working on the same part of the model at the same time. If you don't communicate, then you won't be able to share your great ideas with the group. Sometimes we have to make decisions about what jobs different people will do. Then the project will be successful. We have to communicate to let people know how we were doing and how we were getting on. We develop our confidence by speaking to different people and knowing that we can speak up if we feel strongly about something that is the right solution for the job.
How do we demonstrate curiosity in Makerspace? When we are researching during the empathising stage, you might want to find out more about the problem you're trying to solve, and so you show curiosity to conduct your own research, either in school, as part of a challenge, or when you get home. It can be a hard one to demonstrate, but it can be a feeling that you feel inside. You get more out of the project if you want to find out more, as you get a better understanding of the problem. We demonstrate curiosity when creating our solutions to problems by asking, what if?
finally, just thinking about the impact of Makerspace projects on our school, certainly in Makerspace Weeks there's a real maker buzz throughout the school because all classes are excited about the challenges that they're working on, and everybody's got this sense of purpose, and they're talking about what is it that you're doing and how are you solving that problem. It engages all children, so children who normally find kind of standard classroom learning quite tricky get involved and engaged, and they're excited and they can contribute and share their skills. It increases the understanding and the profile of what we call the 5 C's, and it emphasises the process over the product. So it's very much about not having a shiny fancy, the best model at the end of it, but it's about working through that design thinking process and developing these different skills. And we found that that's had a massive impact on our learners.
It has been an absolute delight to see this evolve and develop within our nursery and school, and it's wonderful to see the skills, the buzz and the enjoyment for learning coming as a result of this new philosophy that we are now adopting.
It has been exciting seeing Makerspace philosophy develop at Allens Primary School in Stirling, and how the school have embraced the 5 C's. In this fast-changing global community, international organisations such as Nesta, the World Economic Forum and OECD have asked what knowledge, skills, attitudes and values today's young people will need to thrive and to shape their world positively. Children entering school in 2018 will leave school in 2030, and it is impossible to say what jobs might exist or what challenges the world might face. The world is facing immense challenges now, social, economic and environmental. The future is uncertain. This is both exciting and challenging. Schools need to prepare children for jobs that have not been created yet, for technologies that have not been invented yet, and for problems that are not known. Creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, communication, innovation, curiosity, complex problem solving sit at the top of these skills tables, developed by the organisations, alongside values and attitudes such as empathy, resilience, learning how to learn, reflection and risk-taking. They believe that these skills, values and attitudes need to sit at the heart of learning, and that education plays a vital role in fostering these skills in children and young people. Makerspace and the human-centred design process it uses creates an opportunity for children to develop and use many of these skills and values, solving authentic problems and making something that maybe didn't exist before. It enables them to speak with people locally and internationally about problems they might be facing and to empathise and reflect on these. This type of learning can be transformative to the individual, but also to society.